Welcome to the 2016 Taipei Plugfest for the UEFI Forum. I'm Dick Wilkins. I am representing Phoenix Technologies, your host today, and thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be filling out the rest of the crowd during the morning here, and many more folks will be arriving. But as I said, welcome. So these are the things I'm going to be talking about this morning, just to welcome everybody and to give you a few notes on the logistics of all of the event. Without further ado, as they say, I will go ahead and talk through these items. This is the schedule of events for the next 4 days, I guess it is. We are here at the welcome presentation. I want to say a couple of quick things about the hotel here. We will be meeting each day for the technical presentations in this room. And there will be a meeting this afternoon that Dawn will be talking about this afternoon from 3 to 5 in this room. This space is also available during the day, each day. If you want to hold an informal meeting with a group of folks, you're welcome to use this space. Most of the rest of the time will be for testing. I do ask that folks may have noticed that the hotel security is set up such that we cannot reach the testing floors unless you have a key card, a hotel card for a hotel room. So floors 8 and 9 are locked out in the elevators. So if you see anyone with one of these badges on that seems to be trapped and can't get to the testing floors, please help them. Go ahead and use your key card if you have a room card and let them in. If you have a testing suite and have several people, ask the hotel for some extra cards so that you can let them in. If you're one of those who doesn't have a card and you end up trapped, you can get the hotel folks to let you in the elevator and to open it up to allow you to get to the 8th and 9th floor. You can also call the Phoenix event suite, which is room 801, and we should have somebody there most of the time who could also come get you if you don't have a hotel key card. So it's just a security thing for the hotel, and they have the elevators programmed so you can't go to your regular room floors without a key card. So please help folks out that way. This is the presentation schedule. You've all seen it. It's posted out front. You've seen it in email. But each afternoon at noontime, 12 o'clock, please come up here, get some lunch, relax, enjoy yourself, meet with people, do your networking, talk to folks. And then at 12:30, we will start a half-hour presentation from each one of these folks: UEFI Forum, Insight Software, Microsoft, Intel, Phoenix, Hewlett-Packard, AMI, Cavium Networks, and AMI and ARM. So please come here for 3 presentations each day. That's all I have to say. This is a testing schedule that we posted via email. It's available in paper copies of it are available, etc. around here. Please understand that these schedules rarely are followed very closely, but when in past Plugfest events, when we didn't supply one at all, we received a number of complaints saying we want a schedule as a starting point, as a place to start for when each company can be in each other's testing rooms and that kind of thing. I found traditionally that nobody follows it that closely. Please don't feel obligated to follow the schedule exactly. You can make up your own schedule and please feel free to arrange your own schedule. But this does provide a starting point for everybody. Copies of the SCT testing suite, an alpha version of the 2.5 version of the test suite has been made available. There is information in the packet that you were emailed about how to get it down off of GitHub. Harry and Eric are in room 805 here in the hotel. They have the alpha SCTs on USB sticks. If you don't have them available to you, if you need them, it takes too long to download them into the hotel here, whenever you can get them from them. They're looking for feedback on test results. Actually, I think Harry's stuff hasn't arrived yet, probably will this morning, but a little later this morning they'll be available. Please provide information on the results of your testing back to Harry and Eric in room 805. Yes, sir.
We'll prefer to get the results by send the results by email.
Okay, Brian's telling me that you can submit the results via email as well. Please include the configuration information on what you tested and what its configuration was and how to contact you in a text file along with your test results. So that the folks, if they need to reach out to you, can get a hold of them.
So the text file, the test results, should be put back to the USB stick feedback, or?
You can do that. You can copy it to them.
I can provide it with them if you want.
Go for it. Brian's in.
Hey, I'm Brian Richardson. I'm with Intel. I'm going to be one of the people working with the suite in 805. What we're doing with the SCT is not really that Intel wants your feedback, because it's the UEFI, UTWG, the test working group that maintains the SCT wants your feedback. It just happens that Eric's one of the main people who works on that, so he's taking responsibility, i.e. stuck, getting the feedback. If you want to return the USB sticks, that's fine with the results. Just make sure that they're organized in some way so we can tie the results to a particular system or a particular configuration. If you have to email the results later, that's perfectly fine. They can go to Eric. You can get his email address. They can go back to Dongwei as well if you want, because there's a problem with UTWG. But keep in mind, that's for the improvement overall of the SCT. It's not just one company wanting feedback on that.
That's right. So, many of you noticed that we have handed out as you arrived a little, we call it power bank, a USB charger. I wanted to thank Tony Plugfest here from the now working for Intel and his community leader, whatever, of the Tiancore organization. And that group has been kind enough to offer everybody hand out gift here, commemorative gift of our event today. So thank you very much, Tony. I think it came out very nice. Okay, there will be a dinner and music event tomorrow evening. That's Wednesday evening at the Music Corner, which is, let's see, just across the street in front of the hotel and down about a block that way, or 100 yards, 150 yards, something like that, meters. We went there the last time we were here at this hotel, and it was very nice. Everybody had a wonderful time. So please feel free to attend. We are limited to the number of people to attend that event. The venue will only hold about 80 people. So make sure, if you're planning on attending, that you pick up one of these cards from the registration desk, so that you make sure you have a reserved slot. If we have, I believe, 172 people registered for this event. That's the final number. Obviously, we can't fit 172 people into that restaurant. So we have 80 cards to hand out for those who want to attend. We found traditionally that a lot of the people who live here in Taipei don't really have an interest in going, but some do. So, and all of those traveling. So, it's a very nice place and a very nice event. Okay, another logistics thing. If you see anybody who needs to register, or you need somebody in your company or whatever needs to register, you see somebody wandering around the lobby of Austin, you want to point them. Our folks from Phoenix Technologies will be in room 801 downstairs to hand out the remainder of the badges and register people for attending after this morning's event. So after we shut down registration here, we will move that down to room 801. So if you see anybody that needs to register, get their badge or whatever, please point them to room 801. Let's see. So I wanted to say a couple of quick things about the Plugfest events generally and get everybody up to speed on what's going on. Many of you are probably not aware of the details, but the Plugfest events were originally started out by the UTWG, the testing working group, and as an opportunity for folks to test compatibility with their hardware and their software and their firmware with everybody else's equipment. And so we provided this event as a way for folks to test, and also provided the latest copy of the SCT tests for people to run on their platforms. That's been the traditional base. The setting up of the event and scheduling has been largely taken over by the Industry Communications Working Group as part of our outreach to the industry generally. And the UTWG works cooperatively with the ICWG, the Industry Communications Working Group, to choose dates, locations, etc. for these events. I wanted to bring everybody up to speed. Since UEFI firmware has become more ubiquitous, since the Windows folks at Microsoft sort of drove the industry finally into accepting a widespread acceptance of UEFI, we found that while the testing remains to be very important, it's not as critical, the compatibility testing isn't as critical and as the major driver of many of these Plugfest events. We still need to do them. We still need to do them on a periodic, regular basis, but we don't need to have 3 or 4 a year of these. Just the drivers aren't there. So the ICWG has been having a lot of discussions around what do we do with Plugfest going forward? What should they consist of? And the feeling generally is that the technical talks are becoming more and more important as part of the Plugfest event. While the testing is still critical and important, a lot of folks are coming. We have 172 people registered here, primarily to listen to the technical talks. So the thinking has been twofold. One is we're thinking about changing the name of the event, which is just a placeholder really, to indicate that that this is a lot more than just a testing event. That the technical outreach and presentations are critically important as well. So we may well be changing the name of the event. Also, there's been a lot of discussion about whether we should rearrange the scheduling of these events, that maybe we treat a day or two, the first day or two of the event as a technical conference and have all-day presentations for a day or two, and let the people who really want to focus on the technical talks come for that couple of days, and then they don't have to stay for the testing if they don't choose to, and then have 2 or 3 days of testing after that. No decisions have been made. We would love to hear your input. Is this a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Reach out to your to a board member, to members of the UTWG or the Industry Communications Group, the ICWG. Tell them what you think. Also, if your company isn't participating, with the Industry Communications Working Group, please send a representative. We would love to have more participation in that working group so we get input from more companies. One of the things we've also done, this time was the first time, is traditionally these events were, the technical presentations were only open to sponsors of the event. And they were traditionally the promoter members and occasional membership of the contributing membership. This time, for the first time, when we announced the Plugfest that we were opening up the presentations to any member of the UEFI forum, right, including adopter members if they would like to make a technical presentation. So carry this back to your companies that in future Plugfest events, we would love to hear what other people are doing in this industry. There's a lot of things going. It's not just PCs and laptops anymore. It's many more mobile devices, many server devices, Internet of Things. Many more devices are starting to use UEFI firmware. We would love to hear more about that. So we would really love to hear from your companies to do a technical presentation. The only restriction on the presentations is they must be technical content of general interest to the membership of the organization. They are not sales presentations. So we ask that you don't come here and try and sell us the latest product or software tool or whatever it is that you've created. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to teach us more about the technical, what's going on in the industry trends, technology, tools, things that might benefit all of the membership. So anybody who has a presentation on that, think about that for the next Plugfest event. Talking about the next Plugfest event, the ICWG is working on when the next Plugfest should be. The belief is that we will currently tentatively planning to have the next Plugfest in the U.S. in the Seattle area, probably at the same hotel that we had the last time we were there. It will be a very similar event for those of you who made it to the U.S. Plugfest last time. That will be our next opportunity, and it is tentatively set for middle of September. We're still nailing down the actual dates. You will be seeing an announcement come out in email in the not too distant future. Then, beyond that, I wanted to bring up one other thing. We have traditionally held a Plugfest in Asia here in Taipei roughly once every year to year and a half. And traditionally, the host of that event, primary sponsor, was one of the IBVs, the independent BIOS vendors. And we've taken turns rotating between American Megatrends, AMI, Inside Software, and Phoenix Technologies. That has worked out fairly well. One other thing related to Plugfest funding and support, you'll notice this time we only have the Tiana Core folks and Intel as sponsors, in addition to Phoenix as host. We received feedback to the UEFI board that the members would prefer to not have to sponsor and pay to hold these Plugfest events from all the promoter companies that were already paying large dues. And so the UEFI Forum has decided to try and do most of the funding for these events going forward. So folks are welcome to sponsor and provide funds as Intel and Intel/Tiana has done this time. But it's no longer a requirement. The UEFI Forum will provide funding for the UEFI Plugfest events going forward. But they are fairly expensive to operate, and so there will probably continue to need to be some sponsorship funds. So, future Plugfest, future locations. Biosoft, another BIOS vendor, firmware vendor. It's been a personal effort of mine to kill off the term BIOS. you'll notice that it's come out of our specifications going forward, and also the TCG specifications were come forward. So I'm trying to kill off the term BIOS and go with something like platform firmware, but we're still IDVs, so independent BIOS vendors.
Yeah.
Yeah, so IFVs, we'll have to switch that to IFV. So anyway, so we're killing off the term. The only time you should hear the term BIOS is when you're talking about conventional legacy BIOS. UEFI firmware in modern age is platform firmware. Okay, Biosoft has requested the opportunity to host a Plugfest event at their offices outside of Shanghai. That is being considered by the ICWG working group and the board of directors of UEFI. No decisions have been made. We haven't worked through what we're going to do. We traditionally had the three IFVs alternating, supporting these Plugfest events here in Asia. Do we insert them into the rotation and do one every so often in mainland China, or how do we handle this? We would love to hear your input. If you have an opinion, is Taipei a better location for you, or do you think it's reasonable to hold one in the Shanghai area in the future? We'd love to hear from you. Give us feedback. And we have no reason and would not have no reason to exclude Biosoft from participating in these. And would love them to join us, but we need to work out the logistics of how that happens. So anyway, if you have input, please feel free to let us know. Okay, last slide for me. I want to thank Paula from Phoenix. Come on up, Paula. Welcome. She has been my right hand and everything else arranging this event, a local person. She has been invaluable. Many of you have interacted with her via email and all. And so I want to thank her for all of her amazing hard work. And UEFI Forum would like to thank her as well. So I have here for you a gift certificate as a small thank you from the UEFI Forum. So thank you. So, does anybody have any questions for me before I give up the stage here? Remember, when you see somebody that's trapped and can't get up the elevators, please let them, make sure that they're wearing a badge, but make sure they do that. Christian, would you like to come up? Christian here from Intel Tools would like to make a quick couple-minute presentation on some of the stuff they're doing.
Thanks, Dave. Just 1 minute. I just want to make people aware that I think everybody else here is from hardware companies and doing hardware. So we're here as one of multiple entities. My colleague Sasha and I, we're doing the Intel System Debugger. So we're a software tool. So I just want to make people aware of that, to factor that maybe into their schedules, and to be aware of that. If you have a problem, if you want to debug something, you can come talk to us, or if you're just interested, we're in room 806. And if there's any interest, or if you want to debug something, just talk to us. And just want to make people aware that there's also a software tool represented here. Thank you.
Right. So I think that's it. Go forward and test, and I will see you back here for lunch at noon and 12 o'clock, and the presentation starting at 12:30. Thank you.